Hi guys, hi girls. This is just a little bit of an extended video. I've been doing a fair few shorts over the last few weeks, but I've realised that they're a little bit too brief to really get into the details on really what I want to talk and what I want to share with you in regards to migration and what I see happening in Australia from my perspective, and what many other people are a little bit concerned about, and how at least I'm going to approach, or how I would like to approach, overcoming whatever situations we are facing. So a little bit about myself. I've been in Vietnam for just over a decade. Now in that time I've been back to Australia quite a bit. I've seen some changes over the years. I'd like to say some good and some bad. Most have been pretty below average, to be honest. But the last few years I've spent a lot more time in Australia, and my love and patriotism for Australia has gotten much higher than ever. I see there's a dire need for people like me who have a passion for the country, for the culture, for the people. They see the good in what we have. There's a dire need for people like me. So at the moment, you can see I'm in Saigon still. I'm in Vietnam. So I'm tying up some loose ends here, and I'll be back in Australia within the next few weeks. And I'm developing. I teach now, so I teach migrants primarily English, but I focus not on language itself. So I focus on culture, values, culture and values, communication skills, confidence, and conversational practice. So language itself is actually something that plays a little bit of a side to the main topics of what I teach. Because first of all, a lot of the students, a lot of the clients who I meet coming to Australia, their English is enough. They can survive. They have big problems with understanding the culture, and they want to understand the culture. They want to learn about Australia. They want to know what makes our country so great. They want to know how they can be a part of it. And unfortunately, even though there are a few organisations set up to help migrants integrate into Australia, but I think I'm not the first to say they're not doing a very good job, and they are actually shrinking their presence. They are, whether consciously or not, they are somewhat anti-Australian, or at least a few of the teachers I have spoken to who are directly working with new migrants. First of all, they're not born and bred Australians. They've been in the country for a decade. And second of all, they don't understand the history, the values that shape modern Australia, and they've got no interest in learning about it, let alone passing that on to new migrants. And I think that, well, it does. It does a disservice to those migrants. It does a disservice to the new migrants. It does a disservice to the migrants who arrived over the past several decades. It does a disservice to every Australian by not allowing the new people coming into your country to understand, first of all, what it is that is so great about our country that attracts them in the first place, and secondly, how they can be a part of it. It's not what we should be doing. So policy aside, so I'm not a politician. I'm not a policy guy. I follow politics. I have a political opinion and a certain persuasion, particularly these days. But there are certain people out there who are doing good work in terms of politics, in raising awareness, in doing a lot to get conversations happening. What I'm doing with my program, I'm not coming from the top down. I'm not coming from the sideways in like a lot of those organizations are, the media organizations and commentators. I'm forming something from the bottom up. Because, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I can't see anything really making any efforts from the bottom up. And that's really where you're going to get the change. That's really where you're going to save whatever it is that we have left, to preserve our values. Now you can keep relying on the politicians to finally wake up to themselves and turn around and make things better, or you can continue persuading them to do something about it, or you can develop local and like-minded networks of people from all different backgrounds, all different industries, not just education. It's the private sector. It has to come through the private sector. The government is not doing its job, and the organizations, the training institutions associated with our government, they are not teaching migrants, first of all, what they should be teaching migrants about our country. They're teaching them sometimes lies, sometimes half-truths. Sometimes they're just obfuscating the truth completely. But in a nutshell, they're teaching migrants not to be patriotic, not to love the country. And a lot of migrants coming to Australia, yes, okay, there's many who will not integrate and they don't want to integrate. You're always going to have them. But many do. Many want to become Australian. They want to understand the country, but they're not being given the opportunity to learn. So that's what I'm doing. And so I'm coming back to develop that program even further, to develop what I've been doing, what I've learned over the last 10 years, what I'm currently doing now. And I'm looking to share my ideas with you, hopefully connect and see how we can collaborate and start doing what we can from a more grassroots perspective to make some positive change. Because I don't know what other option we have rather than sit around and wait for our leaders to have some epiphany and then try to bring things around. It's not going to happen. So we need to get like-minded people together, and simply we need to just raise awareness. And with my clients, I don't try to convert them. I don't try to change them. I don't try to say you have to believe the same thing as we do, because that's un-Australian. But what they must do, they must at least first become aware of our country, what's so good about it and why it is so good. From then on, only then can they really understand how they can be a part of it and how they can positively contribute and be a part of our shared future. Without that, I don't see any change happening. So I'm looking forward to connecting with you and sharing a little bit more with you through these longer form videos over the coming weeks and months. And hold the line.